So welcome, welcome. It's a very busy and powerful Sunday afternoon. It's the 3rd of March, 2019. This is Lou Martin. I'm here with my lovely, enlightened, activated, empowered friend, Diane Lester, who does amazing work. Kira, welcome. Good to see you again.
Yeah, welcome, Lou. Actually, I've just realised it's the 3rd of March. Three, Tower of Three, which is very significant.
Yes, be my guest. You want to say anything about that?
Well, 3 is the divine code, isn't it? You know, it's a code that's been hidden in plain sight, which people don't really notice because, you know, we're so familiar with things in life. But, you know, the trine. In fact, when the Earth went through a previous shift, there was actually a trine in the sphere, shall we say, between an astrological configuration between, it was Alcyone, I think, in the Pleiades,
right?
At the time, Sirius, and Merak, which at the time was our pole star, the Earth's pole star, which of course it isn't.
Okay.
It's the Earth shifted to Polaris, but so the trine is really significant. Everything happens if you think, you know, past, present, and future. In fact, I did make a video on this a while ago, the Power of Three, and I've even got a Power of Three. I'm sure I've got a Power of Three activation, which I give. You know, so
lovely. Yeah. Do you want to lay that on us today? That'd be. That'd be welcome.
Is it now?
Well, up to you. Entirely up to you, my friend.
You said you were open to anything. So.
Yes, indeed. I truly am. Truly am.
I think you'll find, though, Lou, that people that watch this anyway or listen to it will receive a download. That usually happens when I'm working anyway, or even when I'm not working.
Sure. Well, actually, when you started a minute ago, your light started to flicker very noticeably there. Yes, it was going boom, 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 boom like that for a bit. Yeah. I just did a channeling on Thursday where my guides were talking about saying things 3 times out loud to affirm them and to manifest them. Same idea.
There you are. I say that's synchronicity, isn't it?
Yes. So we're in your hands, my friend. Wherever you want to take the conversation or whatever you'd like to do, it's all very welcome.
Well, yeah. In terms of new work, I was asked to channel another universal star language book, which opens a solar portal. I've been told that on the outer edges of the Earth, we're now having solar portals opening, which allow us to connect with solar energies and obviously ultimately to become solar conscious or to activate our solar light body, which we've never experienced, Lou. I mean, this is a state which is far, far beyond anything we've experienced. A state of being pure energy and needing physical embodiment. So, so pretty major, really.
Sure. Something to look forward to.
This is far beyond the crystalline light body and the diamond light body.
Okay.
But of course, the solar matrix, it exists for us, you know. And so these portals are opening to assist us in that direction.
Beautiful.
But this particular book, which I've just released, actually, I've got it on sale at the moment.
Okay.
Again, opens a solar portal.
What's it called, your book?
Now, this is maybe a bit contentious.
All right. Well,
The Golden Ark.
The Golden Ark. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Now, people say that the Ark of the Covenant is actually a physical thing, a physical manifestation. Now, to some respects, there may well be a physical container or whatever you want to call it, but my information is really the Golden Ark or the Ark of the Covenant is actually a vibrational tool from Giza, from the hyperspace vaults of Giza. And it's been designed again to open this solar portal to advance us even further in our evolution.
Great, great.
I mean, when you think about it, how could it be possible that a box, not being disrespectful here, but how
Sure.
is it possible that a box could contain that much light? I mean, let's face it, our physical vessels cannot contain that amount of light. I mean, there are so many fables and stories about people being blinded by the light in the Ark of the Covenant. They've opened it up and they've been blinded.
Right.
So I don't know. I find that a little bit of a stretch of the imagination, really.
Sure.
The physical matrix couldn't hold the geometry of the physical matrix would not be compatible at a 3D level with something of pure source energy, would it?
Right, right.
That's my take. I mean, you know.
Sure, sure. I mean, the sun obviously is a hugely powerful and transcendent gateway, into the higher realms and the higher dimensions. And, I was actually praying to the angels of the elements yesterday, including the sun, the earth, air, fire, water, saying my prayers by the river. And, it's the light that we pass through, I think, to get back into the higher dimensions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, we are receiving a lot of encoding from the great central sun, aren't we?
Yes, yes. When I channel, my guides have me pull the energy of the sun down into my body and then ground it into the earth. That's our pillar of light.
Brilliant.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is, again, this is just another, I suppose, another tool which we've been given. They said it was my friends, galactic guides, prompted me. It was time to do it because
Great.
this is not Earth language, though. This is star language, which sounds a bit Latin.
Okay.
And basically, it isn't a book as such. It's an energy tool. Like everything I produce is an energy tool.
Right.
Sorry, am I not central? Because I've got my...
No, you're fine. You're fine, honey. You're absolutely... That's fine, too. That's lovely, too. Yeah. You're... There you go.
My webcam a bit.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
You're lopsided.
You're fine, honey. You're absolutely fine. As long as we can see your face, everything else is details. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, everything that I produce or that comes via my channel tends to be an energy tool. So basically, this is what it is. It's, again, star language of this type is structured around the Fibonacci sequencing, or a type of Fibonacci sequencing. Again, the rule of thirds, number 3.
Good, good. Yeah.
We're on the right track today.
Yeah.
And it builds up, the Fibonacci sequence builds up energy layers. So as you read or recite the words or verses, because it's in verse format, it builds up the energy, which creates the opening of the portal.
Okay.
The same was true of the very first book that I channeled, the Book of Life.
Okay.
Now, the Book of Life was it was a monumental channeling because it's over 700 pages. And I was told that the Book of Life was the first vibrational tool to be released from Giza, and it basically puts us into Christ consciousness or crystalline consciousness just by reciting it.
Wow. Right.
It again was an amazing experience. When I was doing it, when I was channeling it, I started out by writing it, which is probably not a good thing to do because I ended up having to put it back onto the computer. I got 2/3 of the way through and I thought, oh, drat, I should have channeled it straight onto the computer. Anyway, one night, I think it was spring, and it was probably about 8 o'clock at night. It was dark, and I was getting dark. I was writing out, channeling some of this verse, and all of a sudden I looked at the page, and it was in brilliant golden light.
Wow.
And I thought, considering it was getting dark and I needed to put my lights on.
Right.
I thought, well, that's helpful. So I looked up, Lou.
Yeah.
Everything was in golden light. My garden, which had been previously in darkness, was in gold. My house, my room was golden, everything. That was amazing.
That is incredible. Yes, yes.
And then at some point later, when I was channeling, I had the most profound feeling of self-love. And it's difficult to describe, but it was so deep within me, such a deep feeling. And I can honestly say I've never felt that way before.
Wow.
Not about myself. And if this is what Christ consciousness does, then it's pretty wonderful, really.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a sweet thing. Yeah, I'm sure it's lovely. Yeah.
So, I mean, once we get into that state of really loving ourselves, then we're not going to do any harm to another.
Sure.
We're going to treat others with respect and unconditional love.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I think we start to know who we are again, without judging ourselves or, I mean, that's the number one thing that comes up in every session in my work with clients is people tend to be generally quite hard on themselves,
Yeah, we can be very critical, self-critical, can't we?
Yes. So, to hear about your experience of unconditional self-love is so inspiring, so uplifting.
So yes, that was the first vibrational tool, and then more are coming through now.
Good.
I've been told I have to write. I suppose this would be in star language again. I have to write 4 more books through a member of the Martian High Council, Ronki, who's going to channel them through me. So.
Okay. never a dull moment with Kira.
Sorry.
Never a dull moment, my friend. Yeah.
It isn't it? They've got me busy. Mind you, they did tell me that it's time for a bit of fun, but I said when? When?
Well, I've never seen you so happy, sweetie. So I think you're really very much plugged into your higher purpose, and really it's a joy to see your happiness here today. Truly.
Well, it is important. Joy is important, isn't it? That's a manifestation of really what and who we are, really.
Absolutely, it's essential.
Yeah, let's go back to you talking about the solar central sun being a gateway.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for posting the gateway events for me.
Sure.
Sure.
Because, pleasure.
Again, this is really important that we get tuned in or attuned to the gateway energy. Because the gateway energy, when it reaches a critical mass point, will automatically shift and pass from person to person without assistance and shift everyone into the golden crystalline light consciousness. Brilliant. So, in fact, I've just written a blog on and posted it on my website about changing the cabal into servants of light. It was a bit tongue in cheek, but the gateway energy will, once it passes from person to person, it will do this. Nobody can resist it. So it shifts our consciousness. It prevents us from having disharmonious thoughts, or what we term negative thoughts. It rewires the brain. It activates the DNA, the so-called junk DNA, which isn't, of course, junk.
Right.
Awakening us to more of what's inherent within us, more of our divine encoding, which is within.
Yeah. Well, hon, can you talk a little bit about the junk DNA, what you know about that?
Well, I'm not really a technically minded person, although people have said to me, oh, you're so scientific. I said, I'm not.
Right.
Well, in terms of the gateway, I can tell you, this is all channeled information. Everything I receive is channeled.
Sure.
It's not coming from me, it's coming from my higher self aspects.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, well, when you read what you read on my website, just bear in mind it's not me.
Sure.
It's my self aspects.
Sure,
So
sure.
if you have anything to say to them, then take it up with them.
That's fine.
Don't shoot the messenger.
We appreciate your perspective, my friend. I know I do. Yeah, no doubt.
In terms of the gateway energy frequencies, they are, of course, multidimensional intergalactic systems from there's our system, the XL, which is our Milky Way, Andromeda, Arcturus, Isis, which is a Sirius system, Pegasus, Antares. Yeah, there are many, many systems, but I tend to focus on about 7 major ones.
Okay.
And the energy itself, I was told that beings or souls on the earth plane already knew about this energy. Edgar Casey apparently knew about it, Alice Bailey,
okay,
and even I've forgotten his name now, Harry Edwards, the founder of the Spiritualist Church.
Okay. Okay.
He apparently knew about it, and I suspect that he possibly even connected into it somehow to perform his amazing healings that he performed.
Okay. Right. Right.
Basically, what happens, the way this works is that every cell has a parallel, and it utilizes the parallel cell to feed the gateway energy into it. When the energy is fed in, because the cells are entangled at the quantum level,
okay,
this is the gateway science,
okay,
it creates a supercell. And the supercell then pushes, the energy from the supercell pushes the toxins out of our cell, out of the cellular matrix, and speeds up the voltage of the cells.
Okay.
Now, of course, it's important that energy flows through the cells very rapidly, because when it does that, there's no stagnation. We only tend to become, shall we say, subject to disease and illness when energy is stagnant, when there are blockages within our energy field.
Right.
So when the energy is flowing through, pushing our ki, our life force through easily, then there's no time for a compression of energy or energy blocks. So we don't tend to incur diseases. We tend to be more immune to these things.
Very good. Very good.
Voltage is really important. In fact, I came across a video by a guy talking about, I think he wrote a book called Voltage is Health. I can't remember his name, but it was on the internet recently. And I thought, this is interesting because this is exactly what I believe and know to be true. And then other things sort of linked in with that. I believe there was information about dead tissue. We shouldn't have dead tissue in our bodies, which again is true because it stops the flow of energy.
Sure.
And this guy was saying that things like root canal work with our dentistry is totally not acceptable because we have dead tissue in the body that disconnects the electrical circuit.
Right.
From which it encourages bacteria to actually reside at the base of the tooth.
Right. Right.
And in fact, I think I heard there is an athlete, again, I don't know his name or her name, who's recently made a film about their life experience, and they became disabled, and they traced it back to root canal work. Yeah.
No, I know. I mean, I've been on my own personal healing journey here for the last few months, getting grains out of my diet and learning about glyphosate and Hashimoto's disease and this kind of thing. So I've been, raising my vibration very deliberately with the food and the herbs and the vegetables and, garlic, onions, turmeric, ginger, everything that heats the blood. So it's quite a topic of focus for me these days, healing and health.
Yeah, I read something about you on, is it keto diet? I don't know anything about
Yes.
that. What's that?
Well, it's basically I mean, I was living on grains, so rice, pasta, pizza, this kind of thing, and non-organic coffee. So of course, you can only get away with these nutritional aberrations for so long. So my body, and I think it's what we're talking about here also, with the vibration raising on the planet, and all of us needing to keep in alignment with that and keep up to that. But keto is basically it's low on it's low on carbohydrates. Cancer lives on sugar, and carbohydrates turn into sugar and feed the cancer. So, and of course, everything is about acid and alkaline and inflammation and, healing that. So what you do on the keto diet is intermittent fasting. So you finish your meal at 6 o'clock on a night, and then you don't eat again until noon the next day, this kind of thing, or maybe later. And once you pass 16 hours, then you are in the zone where your body is at maximum detox. So I've been learning about all of those things, and that's been very, very helpful. But it has been a slow journey so far.
Yeah, I did read some while ago that the body actually naturally detoxes itself from during the night, and possibly, I don't know whether it was about 8 at night till something like midday the following day. So the guy that was saying this was saying that it's important really not to stuff yourself full of food during those hours.
Exactly.
And let the body naturally detox.
Yes. The longer you can fast, of course, the healthier you become. And that's very reasonable. It's easy to do. And see, the other thing was my living on the grains, my blood sugar was going up and down. So all of that has an effect on my energy as well. So it's great to eat very healthfully and very consciously, which I did for quite a while, but I got quite lazy about it. So that's the message from the universe to stay focused. Yeah,
I can understand, Lou. Sometimes when we're really, really busy, I don't know about you, but sometimes I think, well, I really haven't got time to prepare things, and you just grab what's there in the fridge.
Sure.
And you don't think consciously.
Sure. My secret has been making soups, and so I can just keep adding to those to that basic stock, which is pretty quick and easy.
Yeah, I like my own soups. I don't like tin soups, or I find them very starchy, full of modified maize starch. Heaven knows what's in them.
Well, exactly. So to come back to energy here for a moment, of course, food is energy, water is energy. So the more, Kira, the more that people who might listen to this, who are on a path of awakening and consciousness and all of that, we want to be as clean and as clear as we can be, so that we're not addicted or obsessive compulsive or distracted, or so that we're fully present, and so that we're really able to hear and work from our inner guidance, wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So what I've found being on this diet for 3 months is my thinking has actually gotten a lot clearer, which has been very, very good. And my nervous system is calmed down quite a bit as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, what affects one affects the other. What affects the body affects the mind, and what affects the mind, what the mind thinks affects the body. It's they work in unison, don't they, really?
Sure.
That's why it's important to have harmonious thoughts. I'm perhaps jumping in here, going back to the gateway, having the ability to have something which stops disharmonious thoughts, of course, automatically raises our vibration.
Yes.
It can't be a bad thing. In fact, funny enough, one guy who received the gateway told me that after receiving the energy, he tried for about a whole day to think negatively. Now, why anybody would want to do that is beyond me, Lou, but he did, and he couldn't, and he couldn't. After 24 hours, he suddenly had a negative thought. Now, can you believe that?
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, we have the ego doesn't go without a fight. You know, we have to be willing to let that go, I think.
But so, you know, this is what, like you say, everything is energy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit for people how to connect with your work and the Gateway, and also how to work with, you know, whatever you'd like to share about working with our higher self and our guides, anything along those lines?
Well, yes, I can tell you about the Gateway. I have activators, mainly all over the world, actually, at the moment. Some have been leaving. I was told that would happen. New people will be joining. And we have as you know, an event on Facebook, which is free. We collectively connect together, send the transmission out remotely. It's usually 9 p.m. UK time, GMT or BST, whatever the season is. And we're now doing it twice a month. We were doing it once a month, but I was guided that we need to ramp it up a bit. So,
okay.
Obviously, what's happening with these upgrades that we're getting, Lou, it was in line with that.
Okay.
But we're now doing twice a month events and inviting people to join in.
Right. Is that the 1st and the 11th, or?
Yeah. The way I've decided to do it was the 1st and the 11th, unless they fall at a weekend or a bank holiday, because I don't think it's really fair to expect people to abandon their quality family time if they, you know. So I thought, well, then if it falls on a bank holiday or a weekend, we change it to the 3rd and the 13th. Of course, all those numbers are significant, aren't they? 111 and 313.
Right. Very good.
No, we can't really go wrong with that.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
That's what we're doing, Lou. And I'm at present, although I've offended a number of people by saying this, Lou.
Yes.
I'm at present, as far as I'm aware, the only person offering Gateway system downloads.
Okay.
And people say to me, well, when I read things like that, I walk away. And I think, well, I think you need to be more realistic. There has to be a first person to come out with something. You know, I'm not saying I'm the great I am, because I'm not, you know.
Sure.
It has to start somewhere.
Sure. Well, you know, everyone has an opinion, and sometimes it's actually helpful, you know. Rarely, but sometimes. Yeah.
But I mean, I do know one other lady that is empowered to do this, but since she doesn't have a computer, she doesn't work on the internet, then it's really out of, might be my messages clicking there. Really has the ability to push this forwards, you know, to get people involved that I do. So I'm sort of being volunteered by the hierarchy to do it. They were the one. How it happened. I was giving a pure essence attunement a few years ago when it came through, and as I was writing out feedback, because a lot of my clients like to have written feedback. And I was writing out the feedback, and then I noticed a change in the energy. And I thought, this is different. This is different energy. So afterwards, I thought, I wonder what this is. And I got the word Gateway. So that was a Tuesday. I went to see my friend who uses these galactic guides, bless her, since the 70s, actually.
Wow. Jesus.
She said, we were doing an attunement. I was doing an attunement with her. And the energy came through again, Lou. And she said, it's the Gateway. And then they started giving her a bit of information. And lo and behold, when I got back home, I opened my front door, looked down at the doormat, and there was a flyer or some magazine, and it said in large black capitals, "The Gateway to,
Great.
no financial charges."
Great.
And I thought, hello, this is a message.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, good.
As I said in my video, my Gateway video that I made,
yeah,
about how it came through,
right.
It sort of piggybacked onto the end of this attunement in a way by disguise, I think, to make sure that it was grounded on the earth and that nothing could stop it coming through.
Great, great. Yeah. Well,
once it's through, it's here, and that's it. It's here to stay. And funnily enough, Gateway's followed me around in many other respects, because years ago I was at De Montfort University, and there's actually, I realised there's a Gateway building at De Montfort University.
Oh, okay.
And about the time that the Gateway energy came through, near to me, they built a new community college. And guess what they called it? Gateway.
Yeah.
So it's become the in-word.
Right, right, right.
Everything is Gateway, Stargate, Portal.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, speaking of which, my friend, I'm very conscious that astrologically we have this big shift going on right now, moving up towards Wednesday with the new moon. And it just seems like the energies are really, disentangling, undoing, like we're talking about here, the ego and the lower self, and these kinds of thought forms that all of us dance with, from time to time. And so much energy of the higher self really seems to be beginning to come onto the planet and preparing to come onto the planet. Do you have a sense about all that as well?
Yes. I don't generally experience energies in the way that probably a lot of people experience them, Lou, but that's probably because of the grounding in the energies that I've already had. Going back to, we were talking before about having the Kundalini release at the age of 13. That really opened me up to something so major that I've been like a lightning rod ever since.
Right, right. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
Now, I mean, there are Kundalini awakenings, and I was told, funny enough, my friends, galactic guides, said that mine was more of a Kundalini cleansing.
Okay.
So I don't quite know what they meant by that, but it was just a phenomenal experience where I think there's a book called Light on the Path. Don't really know if you come across that. And even some of the advanced Hindu philosophies talk about experiences that we have when we release all of the Kundalini.
Right.
We experience what the Bible calls the peace that passeth understanding.
Right.
Did you experience that, Lou?
Well, yeah. I mean, mine was beautiful and ecstatic and unconditionally loving as well. I was like in an altered state for a week afterwards. But it didn't, it was a permanent opening of the door, Kira. But I, still been on the roller coaster, since then. But the thing, of course, channeling and working with higher energies, is always pulling that stuff out of me and cleansing, pulling anything negative or fearful out of me and cleansing my consciousness. And every time I do that work, I'm high for hours afterwards. So that's my grace with all of that right now.
So I mean, in my experience, I had that feeling of the peace, but it was indescribable. It was like everything was completely drenched in this peace, and it went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. I also got into the state of not being able to generate a thought. In fact,
I think those go together, don't they?
In fact, Lou, that happens to me regularly, even now.
Okay.
It's
Very
called
good.
being in the space between thoughts, or being in the void.
Sure.
And being in that space, it's like the surface of the pond or the lake.
Right.
There are no ripples.
Right.
The ripples are the thoughts. And when you're in that state of being, there's just nothing. It's just absolute stillness and bliss.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, peace is so important for all of us. I can deeply relate to a lot of that. Peace is the presence of infinite possibilities, is the way I've channeled, that message. And when we can find that and sustain that, then, we can let go of any distracting or confusing or fearful thoughts, and really be that, that clear and open channel for the inspiration, the clarity, the healing, all of that.
Yeah. But I also experienced that during that time, what I could only term as a downloading. Now, at the time, in 1982, we didn't use that word. That word didn't exist in our vocabulary.
Sure.
But that's what if I'm going to give it a name now, I'll call it downloading. And it was a downloading of the superconscious mind into the consciousness.
Yeah.
It was like the door opening and all this information just pouring in.
Beautiful.
And everything that I'd always wanted to know, why I'm here,
right?
What's the purpose of life? All these big fundamental questions that we ask, or some of us ask.
Yeah, sure.
They were all answered.
Brilliant.
And I was shown how things are cyclical or spiral.
Right.
How the system, planets are created, dissolved, created again, over and over again. It's what the Eastern people call the day and night of Brahma, where the third dimensional world exists for so many hundreds of thousands of years, and then I gather the black holes are instrumental in this. They absorb or draw the planets back into them, and then nothing exists, not at that dimensional level, and that's the night of Brahma.
Right.
And I got to the point where my energy field was so massive that people hundreds of yards away could pick up my thoughts.
Wow.
It was quite amazing. There was one particular amusing incident where I was out going shopping, and I was looking down the road and I spotted a figure, and I thought it was someone I knew. And as I had that thought that I thought it was this person, they instantly stopped in their tracks, Lou. I saw them stop and turn around and look back up the road at me.
Yeah.
But it was a phenomenal experience. And actually, in some ways, though, with other people around me that experienced it, it was a scary one.
Well,
in fact,
I love
my neighbour was so scared of me. She backed away. She backed away from me, Lou. She said that I was glowing white with the energy.
Good. We like that. That's a good thing. Yeah. My God. Yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me, my friend. I mean, honestly, you nothing you could say could surprise me, I don't think, about you. You're quite tuned in, my dear.
But that Kundalini set me up for I suppose other changes. That was the biggest change, because I felt like Superman or Superwoman after that. Nothing was the same. And since then, I've always had, I don't know whether you've experienced this, a vibration in my throat chakra.
Literal vibration.
Continually. It's as if I've eaten a bowl full of green chilies.
Okay.
And it never goes, Lou. Now,
wow.
it isn't that, it sounds unpleasant, but it isn't. But that is the energy, the power of the energy.
Yes.
And it's what I use to differentiate between energies. So if somebody comes to me, approaches me, then I can use that to determine, are they a vibrational match with me? Are they vibrating at a lower frequency or a higher frequency? So I'm never deceived by beings, shall we say, from any dimension that would try and approach me that don't vibrate at the same level.
Brilliant. That's quite a gift. That's another incredible gift. That's wonderful. And I'm sure it's also, of course, adding to the light and the energy of the words you're speaking, and the sessions that you do with people as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that probably that was part of my soul plan, the Kundalini. I mean, I'd had a birth chart drawn up, an astrological chart, which said I was going to die at the age of 30. So I thought, oh, well, don't worry about it. Live for today.
Okay.
And then, of course, I did have a death, but it was the death of the old self and a rebirth.
Right. That's brilliant. My Kundalini happened when I was 30 as well, just as I turned 30 also. It's pretty amazing.
But that was sort of preparation ground for future events.
Yeah.
That was 82. Nothing much happened until probably early 2000-ish, when I was contacted by Orin. You familiar with Sanaya Roman?
Yes, I love her work. I do this every day.
Well, you are, of course you are. Yes, Orin.
Yeah.
Orin contacted me out of the blue.
Okay.
And asked me, and he said to me, "Do you want to go higher?"
Wow. Yes, please.
I'm going to say yes, aren't I?
Sure, of course.
So I said yes, and it was after that he worked with me, and I came out with a renewal programming, which is, it's a set of 7 affirmations for releasing all programs that don't serve our highest good.
Wow.
And do you know what? I decided to, obviously I'm not going to release it onto people without practicing it myself. So
Sure.
I tried it on myself. And I had this vivid dream stroke vision where I was on the first floor of my house, and there were floorboards, and I looked through the floorboards and there was a fire raging underneath, but it didn't touch me. So clearly this was a purging of any of the belief systems that I'd somehow absorbed, over time, that didn't serve me.
Right. Brilliant.
And the outcome of this was, wow, amazing. Another amazing experience. The outcome was, of course, because of this vibrational shift that was about to occur, my sleep patterns were all over the place. I even went to buy a new bed thinking it would help. Of course, it didn't, because it's our pineal gland that's being activated by the light, the increased light.
Okay.
Which always affects sleep patterns, our sleep patterns.
Right.
So it was probably about 2003, 2004. I just woke up one morning and it was as if I was a lighthouse.
Wow.
Beaming out energy. And I really couldn't relate to the earth plane. And what was worse is that I had to go with my ex's mum, who was a pensioner, to the hospital at the time. And I remember sitting in the waiting room waiting for her. And I couldn't. It was like being in a twilight zone. I kept thinking, healing? What is healing? There's no such thing. We don't need healing. I even came back home and I took a book off my bookcase, which I think somebody gave me, The 10th Insight by James Redfield.
Yeah.
And I opened it. I couldn't relate to that at all. I thought, we don't need that.
Right.
We're already there. We're perfect. So that was the state that Orin, bless him, had helped me to get into. Right.
Wow. Brilliant. I'd be very interested to know what those affirmations are.
I've got them, Lou. I have them on my website, but you see, people, I give it away freely to people, but they basically are not disciplined. Now, I'm a very disciplined person, and to give an idea of that, when I awakened my Kundalini, I didn't know what I was doing. I was given the tools, if you like, by a lovely lady, Amy, who had also gone through the same experience. And for 6 months, every day, I had to do a relaxation at least once, maybe twice a day. I did colour breathing. I had to breathe in the colours of the divine flame, the blue, pink and yellow, or blue, yellow, pink, the other way around.
Right.
And that's what activated the Kundalini, ultimately.
Wow.
So, because I'm disciplined, I didn't think anything of it. And of course, I was very ill actually at the time. And something, maybe my higher self was saying, you must do this, you must commit to this. So every day, for 6 months, I did it. And then 6 months passed and I had this amazing awakening, this release.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
But you see, this renewal programming, I don't think you're going to need to have to do it for 6 months, but you will need to dedicate some time to do it.
Sure. Sure.
Not everyone is that disciplined, Lou.
Well, it's music to my ears, my dear lady, I promise you. You know, I love Warren's work and their energy, and they've been a friend to me on the path for my entire time here. So it's quite synchronous that you mention them.
Well, I'll pass it on to you, Lou, definitely.
Thank you.
In fact,
Thank
I
you.
think I ought to put it, I don't think it's on my website at the moment. I might have taken it off. I'll put it back onto the free tools page.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Well, and you see, Kira, this is so, again, divine timing for me that we're chatting here today, because that's the message that I've gotten, is that personally and offering to anyone else, focus, focus, focus. As we get up to the equinox and all the energies that are swirling for a lot of people in chaos and crisis at the moment, emotionally, energetically, you know, we need that willpower and that alignment and that devotion to move through, you know, some choppy seas, which I've been put on notice. You know, I've had my own ups and downs, and I'm certainly not the only one who's struggling. So it's great to have those tools and those reminders of what's possible.
I mean, if we really knew what wonders awaited us, then I think we would be more dedicated, and more disciplined.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't describe the wonderful, amazing experiences I've had with the light, Lou.
Well, you've done a fine job today so far, honestly.
It is beyond human words. Do not compute with this. You know?
Right. Yeah, it's well, you know, again, commenting on your happiness and your joy, and this is what Abraham has said over and over. Our purpose here is to find our joy, and if we don't have joy, we really have very little to offer each other. And that's like the highest emotion is like the doorway into these higher realms, the higher dimension, the higher self, etc. They're all operating at a much more expanded sense of emotional, clarity, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's like you said before. I mean, there's so much distraction, dramas unfolding around us. I mean, these things are bound to have an effect on us. They're bound to drag us down and, like you say, put us on the roller coaster ride. Sure. That's why we need what I call higher light tools that we can use to lift us up.
Yes.
And lift us quickly out of it.
Yes, exactly. And again, to me, that's the theme that I see is it doesn't take a long time. It just takes that serious commitment to get clear again, as you talked about the space between thoughts, you know, to come back to peace and to own that, and to then, you know, be able to operate from that place of discernment and detachment rather than, you know, panic, fear, confusion, etc.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think one of the tools I do use, which I still find very, very powerful, is silver star energy. In fact, I'm even talking about it today to someone. That's the first energy that I was given access to by the Elohim when I was downloaded by them with star codes in February, I think it was, 2010.
Okay.
And that was the first energy which came through. and it had such an amazing effect on people. In fact, the first person that experienced it was a friend who called me saying she was feeling suicidal. I don't know, she'd had some altercation with someone and she's feeling really down. So I said, look, don't do anything, I'm coming round. So I went round to see her. I was shown how to use the energy in person with someone at that time. So I got her on a chair and placed my hands in a certain position and transmitted the energy. Do you know, Lou, within seconds, well, it wasn't even that. She was giggling.
Wow.
She was giggling and falling off the chair laughing. And she said she saw a vortex of purple and gold spinning around her.
Wow. Wow.
And she was in that state for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
So, and I've used it on people that have been suicidal, and it stopped the tendency.
Clearly. That's fantastic.
So it's such an amazing tool to use for anything, you know, depression. Again, we don't have to follow the law of attraction of moving gradually up the scale. You know, I think I may have mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this before, Lou, about moving up the scale, but we can go from Z to A instantly.
Right.
You know, in fact, in one of my opening videos, I think it was Quantum Energy Tools video that I made a while ago, I said, why use the stairs when you can use the escalator?
Well, I'm raising my hand, my friend. I'm absolutely ready for all the help with that, believe me.
You know, who needs to put in all the work when you don't need to? Just use the energy, just access the energy, let the energy infuse itself into your matrix, and then, you know, you're automatically shifted out of the negativity, the dense energy.
Yes. Can I share with you, Kira? I'm teaching a class with a dear friend that I also met online, Ingrid Turner, who is an amazing channel at the age of 30. She's just such clarity, and so she's been teaching me. We just did a session last night. She's teaching me to work energetically in you know, with consciousness around health and finances and things, and it was incredible. I just did the one session last night, and I did another one this morning. But the piece that I had immediately, and it lasted for hours, was really so uplifting. So yes, I do see that it is available and doable. You know.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Well, anything is possible, isn't it? As you say, yeah.
Yes, but we have to believe it, of course, and practice it, as you're saying. You know, to really own it. You know, I'd say. Yeah. No.
Well, I don't think we have to. The belief thing, I'm not sure we have to believe in something for it to affect us. Now, for instance, that would be like me saying, well, you've got to believe that the energy I'm sending you is going to work, because it will work regardless. Right.
Well, you're the exception that proves the rule, my friend. You know, the way I really would say it is, we need to be willing to suspend our disbelief.
Yeah.
We need to be open and receptive to it.
Yeah, that's good. Being open. Then again, of course, realistically, no one is going to consult me or come to me unless they are in the right similar vibrational match or resonance with what I'm doing.
Sure. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
People that are not at that level will not even see me. They won't see my websites.
Right.
This is why I sympathize with Dolores Cannon, bless her, what she used to say when she said it took 9 years for the world, was it 9 years for the world to wake up to what she was doing? Right. I really resonate with that, Lou, because it's taken me it took me 6 to 7 years before people started to relate to what I was doing. And then it's just exploded exponentially.
Yeah.
My bookings have more than tripled over the past 2 more years now.
Wow, that's fantastic. That is absolutely brilliant. Well, you're a wonderful teacher, a great inspiration, a friend on the path. I'm so grateful to you for having some time with you here today. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Lou. It's lovely to chat with you and catch up with you again.
Thank you.
And it's great to be having all these amazing experiences and lives flowing for you.
Yes, the more I surrender, the easier it becomes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my experience. Is there anything you want to leave us with before we let you go here for today?
I'll tell you what, I will send a transmission. I don't know what it will be, Lou, but
okay.
It won't be words, it'll be energy, right?
All right.
So if anyone wants to pick this up, they can close their eyes and I'll tell you when I've finished.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we can end there. I
Brilliant.
was told that was the Silver Star energy, so
Oh, great.
they obviously wanted people to receive that. There was a reason for that.
I'm so grateful. I'm delighted. Thank you so much. Thank you, hon. Bless you.
You're welcome, honey.
Bless you. Bless you. Well, let's do this again real soon, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you, my dear.
I will do. Thank you,
Okay.
Lou.
Okay. God bless you. All right. Peace.
Okay. Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
I'll send you the recording here.
Brilliant.
Okay, honey. Thank you.